It is 6:03 right now. Police in Baltimore City and also in Howard County are investigating a deadly double murder and suicide that happened over the weekend.
Yeah, Saturday in Federal Hill was the first woman who was shot and killed by her boyfriend, and then police say he drove to Columbia and killed a second woman before taking his own life.
That's where WMAR 2 News' Brittany Werner is this morning with new information about the people who were involved in that incident. Brittany, what can you tell us?
Good morning, guys. Well, I'm standing just outside of the apartment complex where that second incident ended right here. And we now know the names of one of the victims and the suspect, and that they both worked as nurses in the medical field. Now, on Saturday is when this tragic incident started. Police say 44-year-old Rajaee Shareef Black kicked in a door to his girlfriend's home on Marshall Street in Federal Hill and shot her down inside her home. After that, he took to social media stating that he did something bad and that he wasn't finished. That's when he headed to his ex-wife's home here in Columbia. Police say that's when he shot 42-year-old Wendy Natalie Black before taking his own life. A domestic violence dispute claiming the life of three people in just a matter of hours.
Whatever it was that prompted them to make that call, but we do understand that there was a video. Whether it was live or recorded, I don't have that information at this point.
When police responded to the second incident in Columbia after people heard gunshots, they found that man's two children located in the back of his car. Thankfully, they were unharmed, and police say they don't believe they witnessed any of the traumatic incidents that took place. And police have also not yet identified the first woman who was killed in that attack. Reporting live in Columbia, Brittany Werner, WMAR 2 News.
Hello everyone, it's your sister Roland, and all I need is a few minutes to let's talk about this tragic situation that happened over the weekend that passed with these three individuals pictured up here. In the lower right, you have Wendy Natalie Black. She was the ex-wife of this man. In the upper right, his name is Jay Black, aka, and his real name, well, his nickname was Jay Black, and his real name is Rajaee Shareef Black. And on the left side, you have Tara LeBang, who was his ex-girlfriend. I was not going to speak about this situation because I do not like to speak on situations like that, because I had a very close individual that lost their lives in a similar situation like this, so I do not like to talk about this. But why I chose to speak about it is because I attended a quote-unquote Bible study, and in the Bible study there were impressionable children there, and the person who was leading the Bible study spoke on this situation, and they were defending the guy basically. Okay, you can choose to defend the person if you want, but never once did this person condemn what this man did. There's no justification for taking someone's life. I don't care what it is, because there are people who have gone through this, who are going through this, who will go through this, that have not done this and will not do something like this. So this is wrong, and let's set the precedence for this video. What he did was wrong. I'm not here to justify it. There's no justification for that. And then, as you saw in the news clip, he was with his children. Even though in the video where he wanted to make like he couldn't see his children at all, but the children was in the car with him while he was doing this. This is why the ex-wife was she opened the door, because she was receiving her children, not knowing that would be her last day. So this guy went down as a coward. He is a coward because he did this, and then he took his life because he's like, he cannot go to jail. So he took his life, and all we have is his side, because as you know, there are, well, if it was him and one person, then it will be his side, the person's side, and the truth. But now we're left with his side and not these women's side. But I'm sure they shared these stuff with close friends and families, what was going on in their lives. So this really really touched my heart. I'm devastated, and I'm devastated to the point of people are justifying this. We have become desensitized. Just like the Bible said, we are devoid of human emotions for you to justify something like this. And like, and then when that happened in that Bible study, I was reminded of the verse in Hebrews 12:15, where it says, looking carefully lest anyone fall short of the grace of God, lest any root of bitterness springing up cause trouble, and by this many become defiled. Many have become defiled by this video that this man have put out there, because he left by making it seem like he's innocent. He did nothing wrong. He's been battling for custody for 4 years, and accusations were placed on him. Well, do the justice system fall short? Of course they do. But this is why they are there, even though they fall short a lot of times, but they are there to find the truth to what is going on. So for 4 years, you've been trying to get custody, and she lied. No, but they still couldn't figure out the wife was lying. Somebody didn't figure out the wife was lying. Because we just talk on the situation, because you can't acknowledge him because he's dead. You was married to a black woman. It didn't work out. Then you decided to try another race that many people may say have a lot of things to say about other races besides theirs, and it still didn't work out. And it's like according to his words, it was like it was the same situation he's going through with his ex-wife. If anybody who was near to him or close to him, or maybe him, if he realized, not saying that we all are imperfect. We're not perfect in relationships. We have our faults. We have things where we just don't know what we're doing. But for you to have 2 relationships with 2 different races of women, and it doesn't work out, sir, it was you. Well, it was him. Excuse me. It was him. And then when are we going to take responsibility for the certain decisions we make in relationships? It's me. It's me. Because I did this before, it didn't work. I did it again, it still didn't work. Let me step back and see what's wrong with me. Because obviously it's something in him that the first woman saw and the second woman saw. It was something in him. Because we may have different personalities that come up and take control over us. We don't know. We may not know. This is why therapy and counseling is very important, because it's obvious this man had a lot of mental health issues that was not addressed properly. Like, what happened to you to think that this is okay to take out 2 lives? Yes, and thank God he didn't take out the children, but you took out 2 lives. You took out 2 lives, and then you affected your children, because even though the kids may not have witnessed what happened, but we don't know what he was telling them in that car. We don't know what conversations was being said in that car. We need to take responsibility for our actions. And then he went down blaming, never taking responsibility. Just like I'm reminded of Saul, when God, through the prophet Samuel, told him to go and attack Ahab. No, it was not Ahab. The Amalekites, the Amalekites. Get rid of everything. Don't touch anything. Don't bring anything back. He didn't listen. He took the best of the goat and the sheep and different things like that, and he let the king live. And then when he was confronted, what did he do? He did not take responsibility. He blamed the people. And then how did his life end up? He took out his own self. Because when you are a person, you choose not to take responsibility for the actions and the decisions you have made in your life. That's your number one. Your life will never be how you want it to be because you choose not to take responsibility. And most of the time, these people usually end up eliminating themselves because they keep on making the same decisions over and over again, not taking back and see, what am I doing? What I need to stop doing, what I need to do. They keep on blaming others. And that's what always happens. And then what is so disgusting even more is there are people in the comments, there are people making videos condoning stuff like that, telling people, oh, you need to be careful. To you women who are doing stuff like this. Really? Not saying there are women, of course, that do stuff like that to good men that want to be in their children's life. I mean, they're fighting to be in their children's life, and then this woman is doing everything that she can to stop them from being in life because she's mad because he doesn't want her anymore. Of course there are women like that. But then there are men who just are evil, who just are truly evil, and they do evil stuff, and they still want to maintain control even when you are not with them. So I see a lot of people doing that, and then a lot of disdain that a lot of men have for women is being pushed. They already have a disdain for certain women because of relationships with their mother, relationships with women figures in their life that are authority figures in a sense, like older sister or aunt. They already had a bad relationship with them, so that disdain already came from there. And to segue out of that, you ladies who may have who may have children, like an older daughter who's older than your sons and stuff, always watch them to see how those young ladies interact with your children interact with each other. Most of the times, what I've seen this a lot, when you have an older daughter and you have a younger son, they tend to pick on them. Sometimes it doesn't happen, sometimes it does. And then this child grew up, having a disdain for women. And it's vice versa also. An older brother with younger sisters, and then they mistreat them. So we have to be watching our kids in that sense. So let's get back to that. I just wanted to share that. But the men who are, the different videos out there that are spewing this foolishness and condoning this thing, you need to be careful, because a lot of these families are hurt. Because what happened to this very close person, that happened in 2012. Till this day, it still hurts. We can never get over that because it was so shocking and how it happened. And now these things are happening at alarming rates. If you watch the news of these things happening, you will get so depressed. You will get so low because these are happening. I don't know if it's every second, every minute, every hour. It's continuously happening to these lives, where we are not only losing these young women, we're losing these young men too, because some of them, they eliminate themselves. Some of them, they're going to spend the rest of their lives in prison. And then the children are left behind. And if they don't have a supportive system, a supportive family system where people see these children as blessing and not burdens, then these are the children that run wild in the streets and then are committing robberies and committing murders because nobody cared to check for them. Nobody cared to raise them. They were just burdens for them because of situations like this. And other situations too, because some people just abandon their children too. But people who creating content and condoning this foolishness, you better be careful, because one day one of these families may go lurking and investigating, and then if they find out it's because this person used to watch your content all the time, and then they could link it in a way, and then you get blamed, you get sued. So when you have a platform to change lives, to touch lives, to where people listen to your opinions, you need to be careful what you say. Just like he says, be careful. So you're the root of bitterness, because sometimes people speak out of where they are. So you still in bitterness, you're still in resentment, and then you spewing that out, and you're defiling different people. That's what you're doing. And then the female counterparts of you guys also, yes, yes, what he did was wrong, but I like you, but I'm sorry, but I like the food, but whenever somebody says but, that means everything they said before doesn't matter. Yes, what he did was wrong, but when you play games, everyone loses. You are defending this person. You're defending this person. There's no justifying. There's no defending this at all. There's none at all. And some people were calling this man a high value man. Well, I would call him a high earner because he was a certified nurse anesthesiast. And those people in those fields make a lot of money. And all of these individuals were in the medical field. So they had a secure and stable job. But anyway, another thing that they didn't share is this guy lost his job also, because he made it seem like his low state started after his ex-wife, but that was 4 years, and then he recently lost his job. He had recently lost his job. Well, we don't know the circumstances behind that, but of course, when men lose their job, a lot of times they lose their sense of identity. They don't know what to do, especially if they were, so invested and loved their job. So they don't know what to do. So a high value, the meaning as a verb, it says estimate the monetary worth of something. It doesn't even say someone. So if you are high value, it's according to how much you earn. He was not valuable, because valuable things don't do stuff like it's not accessible. It's not accessible to everyone, something of high value. And when you look at it as a noun, according to the dictionary, it says a person's principles or standards of behavior, one's judgment of what is important in life. So if he was a high value man, if that's what you call a high value man, then what are other people? I mean, if this is a high value man, one's judgment of what is important to life, obviously his children wasn't important to him, and these women's lives was not important to him. If you call this a high value man, that's why we have to recognize, because this stuff like this is going to keep on happening, unfortunately. But we as women, we need to recognize crazy early. That's your only way of this not happening to you. You have to recognize crazy before you go deeper into a relationship with this person. You need to vet this person. Certain things you need to see, because before he lay hands on you, it starts with a yell, a scream, controlling, saying foul language to you. You don't tolerate that. Any ounce of any show of disrespect, even if whether you're a man or woman, you nip that in the bud. You cut that off. You don't tolerate that, because every time when you don't say nothing, you're reinforcing this person's behavior. You're showing them, oh, this is okay. I could do that. She didn't say nothing to me. I screamed at her. I yelled at her. I say some bad words at her. She didn't do nothing. It's gonna do it again. Do it again. And then when you combined, going deeper into the bad experience, and then boom, you're locked, and then you have a kid, and then then that person's true colors, they're showing you snippets, but now their real self come in, and now you're stuck. We gotta recognize crazy early, and not a lot of people. Everybody is coming up with problems, showing problems. Oh yeah, this is why this is happening. Oh yeah, this type of woman, this is type of man. But who is bringing solutions? Who is bringing so this thing can stop happening? No, not a lot of people is doing that. But I thank God for people like Brother Tony Gaskins, who actually keeps women and men accountable and teach and shows you, gives you different lessons on what to look for. People like him is not going viral as much as other ones that spewing, the vitriol. But we're going to close with Bible verse in Proverbs 3 verses 13. It says, happy is the man who finds wisdom and the man who gains understanding. So that was Proverbs 3 and 13. Everybody's looking for happiness. Everybody wants to be happy. But where we're looking for happiness, if it's not combined with wisdom, and wisdom only comes from God, if it's not combined with understanding, you won't ever find happiness. Because God is the only one that knows the hearts of men. And he will be able to let you know, this woman, this man, what their true intentions are, what their true agenda is. School gives you knowledge. That's it. Understanding is the application of knowledge that you have received. Wisdom is so much, because wisdom shows you what to say, what not to say, where to go, where not to go. Wisdom is so vast because wisdom is from God. That's what he used to create the universe. So in relationships, I don't know how, if you are not going to do it God's way, learn more about relationships, get more knowledge on relationships and what to do. What is your role? What is your role? What is the person's role supposed to be? Get to know yourself. Spend time with yourself so you could know, hey, I don't like this. I don't like to go there. I don't like to do this. Spend time with yourself. Sometimes we don't even know ourselves, and then we expect somebody to know what to do with us. That's all I had to say on this situation. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.